Hi, welcome to this lecture. Today we want to learn how to create node in Neo4j. Before we do that, we need to know where we are coming from. That is from the word of SQL, then to the word of graph. In my SQL, for instance, if you want to create a student table, this is student. You have to first of all define the table. You give us the necessary information. For instance, you tell the system that this will be what? The student ID. You say this here will be what? The first name of the student. The first name. Here will be what? The last name. I say here is the phone number of the student. You give us what? The email too. The email of the student. Then each of these now is what? Called what? Category. This is a category. Each of them, they are category. All of them, they are categories. So the instance of the category will be inserted in the role. Assume the first person ID is 101. His first name is James. The last name is Ade. His phone number is 014176, whatever. And the email is what? t@gmail.com, whatever. This is an instance of the student table. And each of the column is what? A category. This is what? Other what? SQL. And if you want to create this table in SQL, what you do is, you say create table. Then what is the name of the table? You say student table, that's student. Then you start giving us what? The name of the category. The first category, for instance, says student ID. What type of data that will be living in this place, that will be staying here? You tell us they are int, for instance. Each of the cell, are they going to be empty? Are you going to allow this place to be empty or not? You say, no, I don't want it to be empty. You say what? Not null. Not null. Is this one going to be what? Unique? Is it going to be unique? It's a case unique, meaning that you don't want what? A repetition. You put that. Then you ask yourself again, is this one going to be the primary key? You put that information wherever. Then you go for the second one, like what? The first name. You give the type of data that will be here. See, this one is varchar. How many of them? Let's say 30. You continue. The same thing goes. You continue. Then you close it. Whatever. Look at what we have done now. In SQL, you define this table structure, the schema. You define it from beginning before you even what? Start what? Inserting the details or the values. In Neo4j, when you want to input information, you don't need to create the table ahead of time. Assume I want to create a student name. Student, the same student now, this student, order this place, that is called, his name is called what? James Ade. Okay. And his phone number is 147 whatever. Okay. Then we have his email as what? gt@gmail.com. We also have information like okay, let's say the department is in the chemistry department. If you want to create this one, other Neo4j, just go straight and put the information. We don't need anything like predefining the schema or predefining the table before you start inputting. Go straight and what? Input all this detail. So the first thing we are going to do now is to learn how to create an empty node. So order this place now. We call this one a node. Here, the cell here, for instance, this cell with this one, order this place, is where what each of the instance of the category will live. But here we create a node what? Which will be used for what? Student what? James. Straight. How do we create an empty node? That's the first thing we need to do. Single node. Single node, but empty. Let it be empty for now. If you want to create a node, which is something like this, a node, simply say what? Create. And that's all. If you do this, the system will assign what? 1, a color for the node. 2, it will automatically also insert what? The ID number. If you want to create a node now, simply say what? Create. You go. Created one node, completed after 3 milliseconds. One node was created. Now let's see the node that was created. How do you do that? You simply match it. Match. And you return. And look at the node. He gave the node a color, gray, and he assigned a value of 2 for it. This is not determined by you, it's determined by the system. Remember, we just created an empty node. No information. We want to create a node with a label. What is a label? A label is the type of node you are creating. For instance, I may have 1 million node, 1 billion node in a system. What node is this? I say, okay, this node is for student. Student node. This student node. This is the department node. This is department node. This is lecturer node. This is lecturer node. These are label. These are label. I'm giving them label now. So how do you do that? If you want to do that, you simply say create. You must put the n. Then you put colon. If it's student, you say student. Now, if it is lecturer, you say create and lecturer. Meaning this node I'm creating is for lecturer. We want to create for instance with the information student. Okay, say what? I just created you what? Added one label, created one node, and I completed the assignment, order this. Now let's see what we have done to say what? Match and return and that means all the node. We want to see them. See, we have to know the first one we created that was empty, that has ID of 2. Now this one is created and is student node and the ID is 3. See, this color match this color and it's recognizing that what? We have created one node with a label of student. Let's create another node now. Another node. Let's see. 3 has been created. The next one now, this is the color is given to it. This lecturer. So we have this one, the label for lecturer, this, and this one for student, 1, 1. This one has no label, so that's why it's not what included here.